everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan, aka the Hot Toys Collector, back with another Hot Toys unboxing and review for you today. Today we're going to be checking out Nebula from Avengers Endgame. Excited to have this one in the collection. I've already had this figure in my, I've had this figure in my collection for a little while, but I haven't done the review yet for it. So I want to go ahead and get that done so you guys could check it out. You will notice a big addition today to today's video is I got myself a brand new light box with a lot more light that will help out when reviewing these figures and seeing the better, finer details of some of these. So we're just checking out the box right now. It's got the cool box art on the front there with, here it comes around with Nebula. That looks really cool with that almost like a dusted look to it. And you get the Avenger logos up there on the side. So let's go ahead and get her out and let's take a look and see exactly what she looks like. Okay, so here is the figure inside the clamshell, and you'll see there won't be any kind of wrapping on her because, like I said, I have had her out of the box and up in one of my cabinets, and then I was like, you know, I never did a review for that, so let's go back and do one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure herself here. You can see really, really nice, beautiful detail of Karen Gillan as Nebula. I love the details here on that head plate, we'll call it. Look there, it looked beautiful. I love the purple, looks really nice off with this kind of that blue greenish style look. You can see the top of her head. She's got that little, whatever this would be. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. Some sort of, I guess, robot style mechanics. You can see the suit there looks really good. But let's go ahead and get all the accessories out. We're not going to look at her just yet. Let's go ahead and get all the accessories out, and let's take a look at everything you're going to get with your figure. All right, so here are the accessories you're going to get. So you can see we'll start off here with the base. We get our nice Avengers Endgame style base, hexagonal base, with our glossy A right here, and then we get this kind of distressed side right here, and we get the cool Avenger Guardians of the Galaxy logo here in the middle. That looks really cool. And then we'll go over here to the batons. So we get these cool little batons. You can see there. Looks real nice. The details on these are really good. Really, really cool. So you get two of these, obviously one for each hand. And then you get these little lightning effects that you can kind of thread through here like so. And it gives you that look of it, of her having these things we'll say, you know, turned on and getting ready to use them on somebody. And then we get one of these, which is, I think, is kind of like this baton, but it's closed because they look pretty much the same. You can see there. So it's like the closed style of the baton. So you can pose her with that. And we get this really nice blaster pistol, which the details on this thing is really good. I really like these little details in here. Looks really nice. That gold color right there looks cool. And it's got like a little distressed through the whole thing, like it's been fired quite a bit. Got this blue tint to it here on the front. Looks really good. I like that look of the handle there. That honeycomb style looks really nice. Doesn't have a trigger or anything on it. It's just kind of see the way it is. This white ivory style look to it. Looks really nice. And then you get this holster that you'll just clip on the side on her belt. And then the gun goes right into the holster, just like so. So you can pose her with a holstered weapon. So Nebula's a little bit different. She's kind of like Winter Soldier because we've got one arm that is robotic and we got one arm that is normal. I guess you could say human. She's not really a human, I guess. I'll say alien, I guess. So take a look here at the hands. Look really nice. I like this leather detail here on the hands. Looks really good. Part of her gloves. Got the strap there in the middle. That kind of that blue-green style look. And they even painted her fingernails purple, which looks really nice. Looks really good. So you get kind of that open hand. Then you get a hand for holding the baton. Same thing, same style. That's purple. Nails look really nice. And then we get another hand. This is for holding the gun. You see we get a little bit of a trigger. Not much of one, but it still gets that nice leather look to it. And then, of course, we get a closed fist hand. Now, I will say when I took the closed fist hand off my figure, I pulled out the wrist peg. The wrist peg came with the hand. When I tried to take the wrist peg off, it nearly snapped. So I've heard a lot of people talk about in these reviews wanting more to see some figures go more of what you can and can't do with these things. So I still have the wrist peg. I didn't throw it out, obviously. I went ahead and switched the wrist peg out, but you can see here, just from trying to take it out, that's exactly what happened. You can see it bent, and if I can get it to zoom in there, yeah. So that's something you need to be careful of when you're going with yours, you're messing around with yours. If you see that, try to do best you can to try to get that out without damaging it. So these are the mechanical robot style hands. These look really nice. This is for holding the baton. You can see here really cool details here on top with that gold style knuckles and kind of that top to cover the back of the hand. Looks really cool. You can see the detail there on the fingers themselves and inside. You get that little rough style detail there. It looks really nice. We'll get a really good look at the inside of the hand here. You can see those look really good. And then again on the inside of the hand, that looks really nice. Really, really impressed with the detail on that Hot Toys has done with Nebula here. And then of course we get the closed fist hand. And I'm really glad that they did this figure because you know, I was really wanting one for Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we didn't get one, and I was bummed about it, but we got one for Endgame. So now let's go ahead and get the figure back out here, and let's get him set up, and let's take a look at some of the finer details of the suit, and we'll do a little articulation as well. Alright, so here we have the figure on the turntable, just standing up. And you can see here the suit looks really nice. The outfit looks great. You see the loops in the back. That will be for the extra baton, if you want to throw that back there. And so let's zoom in here and let's take a closer look at the head sculpt and let's do some articulation. Alright, so here we go. We got our close-in view of Nebula. You can see the head sculpt looks really nice there. Looks really good, as we saw in the intro. Very good likeness of Karen Gillan. They've done a really good job with these head sculpts. Starting back with her, I think her head sculpt was one of the first ones where I was just like, wow, that one is phenomenal. So you can see the details of the suit here. Looks really nice. We get the Guardians logo right there on the sleeve. Looks really good. We get this kind of this leather style material. And some of this little fabric right in here looks really nice. We get a good look of her robotic hand all the way down to the wrist. Looks really good. Of course, then we get a little bit of padding there in the stomach. We get the belt. Now, I did try to put on the gun holster, and it was a little tricky. So I'm going to keep trying it here in for the next segment, so maybe we can see it with that on. See, the legs look really good. Get some knee pads, and then of course there are the boots. We get a little bit of articulation. So let's run through articulation. So the head sculpt. She'll look up only about like that, but she will look down more than enough and get plenty of side-to-side motion. So you could probably go all the way around if you wanted to. So it's just a regular ball joint in there, no big deal. So we're going to do both arms since one is different than the other. This arm, we're going all the way out to there. Looks real good. We get our butterfly style swivel joint there. Elbow bends nice, goes up to there. And then we get our normal typical wrist peg. Now this one doesn't have quite as much articulation up and down because of her sleeve. Her gauntlet goes right up there. So that's something to keep in mind when you are posing. So now for the mechanical arm. Out like that. We don't get the swivel, but we do get the elbow ball joint. And it does pretty much go all the way around, as honestly it should. And that's about as far in as you're going to get it to bend, just because of the way it's made right there. It goes up and down, but doesn't really have much butterfly action. And then of course the typical Hot Toys ball joint, same way there. So you don't get quite as much there as you do with the other one, but still looks really cool. As far as chest and sternum. You can see she's got quite a bit of bend to her. Looks really good there. And she'll go back quite a bit. And I push that pretty far. Twist, she gets a good amount of twist and a good amount of twist. So there's some there. Now, obviously, when you do this with these leather style suits, you want to be careful to get that you might get some creasing in some of these spots. So when you're posing, you want to make sure, like what I like to do is I like to do my pose, and then I like to go right back to museum style to give the suit a chance to relax a little bit and not get creased up. As far as legs go, we'll get it out to about right there, and then she'll kick up to about right there. We get our double jointed knees. Looks real good. And then she'll even go back that far. And then feet wise, not going to get a lot there. There's just a little bit there, and there's just a little bit of swivel and pivot there. Not a whole lot. All in all, really solid figure. So let's go ahead and get the turntable back in here and let's pose a little bit. All right, so here we got her in one pose, kind of that pose from, the inspiration for this was from Infinity War when she lands on Titan and then she tries to fight Thanos. She takes out the baton. She's kind of got him behind her a little bit, and then they kick on the lightning. Unfortunately, you know, Hot Toys that's their one downfall is we usually only get one head sculpt, and it's usually a very bland expression, just a straight up expression. We don't get a lot of head sculpts that have any kind of dynamic expression to it. That's one thing I wish that Hot Toys would do a little bit better with. I would be more than happy to pay $50 more or whatever it may be to get an additional head sculpt that would have a little more dynamic look to it. Like she'd have the teeth kind of out there, and she's gritting, you know, she's ready to fight Thanos and things like that. So, but all in all, you know, she's fairly easy to pose. Be a little weary down here with the boots, just because, you know, you don't get a lot of articulation with them, and you got to be very careful with how you set them down, especially if you're not going to pose it with a base. If you're going to pose with the base, it's pretty easy, not a big deal. So let's go ahead and take another look at another pose here. Okay, so here's another pose. She's just kind of got the gun up, ready to go. I was able to get the holster on. It took a little bit. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but I was able to get it on there. Thankfully, the little top straps that go into those little clasps, they've got a little play with it. You can kind of open it up a little bit, and it'll still kind of go back to that original shape. If not, that would have been next to impossible to get on. So I'm glad that at least I was able to get that done. So let's go ahead and let's get Thanos out here, and let's take a look at her compared to him a little bit, and we'll get a good idea for her size, and then we'll do one final pose and we'll call it a day. All right, so here we got the Mad Titan himself with his daughter, the daughter of Thanos, and we're going to take a quick measurement here so you can see. So we can do this. Thanos stands about 16 inches. Nebula stands just under a foot, probably about 11 3/4 right in there. So she looks really good in front of her father. I kind of like this pose. I was going to change the Nebula pose. I'm going to center her just a little more right there for the camera. I was going to change the Nebula pose, but when I brought Thanos out here and I set him like that and I set her like that in front, it just kind of clicked. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to change. I'm going to leave it the way it is. So appreciate y'all watching the video. Please like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of these videos. I got a good light box now. Finally got the setup I wanted. And we're doing some better videos for y'all. And please follow me over on Instagram at the Hot Toys Collector. And you're going to be seeing some pictures of Nebula pop up here as we go into tomorrow and the next few days. Probably see a picture similar to this. Probably see these two fighting it out a little bit too. So appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great night, and we will see you in the next video.